Well, in December, my mom, who is also a minister, for those of you who may not know, woke up and downloaded a bit of wisdom, and she quickly wrote it down. And this is what was told to her. I now baptize you this coming year of 2024 as a year for more and more greater good. 2024, did I say 2020? 2024 is the year of more. Your greater good has your name on it and is ready to land in your life just as planes are lined up orderly in the sky and circling in a busy airport, just waiting for a signal from the tower to prepare for a safe and successful landing. The plane and the pilot, God, know it is at the right airport, you, and it has its destined cargo for you. The plane is circling and waiting for the signal from the air traffic control tower to prepare for landing. You are also the air traffic controller. Since I am baptizing 2024 as a year for more and more good, you are signaling all the planes for more of your greater good that it is A-OK to now land. You have cleared all the channels for the safe and successful delivery of all of your greater good, and all that good has your name on it. You are now filled with a sense of zeal, enthusiasm, and expectancy as you move quickly with ease and grace to gate number 1 to receive your plane of good. Yes, I now baptize you this coming year, 2024, as the year for more and more greater good. Isn't that great? I love that. You see, your good is all around you, waiting to land. And many times we don't accept it. Many times we are so focused more on its absence than its presence. My friends, this year of 2024 is where you can go from good to more good. Or as Paul in the Bible said, from glory to glory, from glory to glory, from good to more good, because being on planet Earth is definitely the master class of greater expansion and fuller self-expression. I love this plane analogy for the new year. So we're going to study it for a moment. Little did my mom know I was going to take her stuff and dissect it, right? And so Emma Curtis Hopkins, hi Mom, she's watching. Emma Curtis Hopkins, who was a brilliant metaphysician, teacher, author in the late 1800s, early 1900s, said this: "There is good for me and I ought to have it." There is good for me and I ought to have it. Let's say that together. Together, there is good for me and I ought to have it. She also said, the good that you are seeking is seeking you and will come flying to you. Isn't that beautiful? The good you are seeking is seeking you, meaning that once you make an intention or a goal or a wish or a prayer, the universe orchestrates itself to put you and your intention in the right place at the right time for you to receive your good. Your intention lands safely in your life for you to enjoy. Now, why wouldn't your plane of good land safely in your life? Well, I have seen this personally, as well as those who I have counseled. Temple and I, when we first got here, we noticed some conversations that went somewhat like this. And it's calculating, because we think really fast, beyond our conscious awareness, right? So what can happen is that many people will do something like this with their intentions. Like, oh, I have a great idea for a great vacation that we can all take, and they sift really fast through all the reasons why not. No, it's not possible. Let's just let that go. How about this? Well, with all my heart, I would love to have a vegetable garden. Just something that when I want to cook something, I can go outside, pick my own vegetables, and we sift through all the reasons really fast. Why not? I don't have the time or money. Let's just let that go. Well, what about a great fundraiser for our church? Nah, that involves too many people. Just let that go. So we can be inspired to have a greater and more joyous life, but going through all the reasons, nah, not in this lifetime. How many of you have ever experienced that? All hands should be going up, yeah. I have. Your plane of good can't land when you have all the reasons of why not. It wants to land, but you, being the air traffic controller, has not given it permission to land. Now, this is the interesting thing. Many times your plane will land in somebody else's airport. They claimed you're good. I had this one friend who used to say this one prayer. This is genius. He said, God, if there are any unclaimed blessings of good that others have not claimed, send them my way. I am open to receiving all the good that you have in store for me. And it worked for him. He was one of the happiest, most successful people that I knew. And he always seemed lucky. He was always in the right place at the right time. Great things always seemed to happen to him. His airport was open. His consciousness was clear for landing. So how do you bring the plane of higher and greater good into your life? God, the universe, brings us our manifestations through the path of least resistance, my friends. And the path of least resistance isn't what is easiest for the universe. Remember, there are no limits on that end because the possibilities for the universe it's infinite. And everything is effortless to the universe. So now listen carefully. You really want to get this. The path of least resistance isn't what's easiest for the universe. It's what's easiest for you to allow. It is what's easiest for you to be a conscious, open receiver. One of my favorite stories, I love this story, about a conscious, open receiver. In 2010, just before Christmas, Rob Anderson went to a convenience store to purchase 3 Powerball lottery tickets for stocking stuffers. Did I say it? The clerk? It's catching. The clerk misunderstood Rob Anderson's request and he put all 3 quick picks on one ticket. Rob said, "Oh, darn, I meant 3 separate tickets for stocking stuffers." And the clerk said, "Well, would you like for me to nullify that ticket?" And Rob, for a moment, he thought about it and he decided, nah, let's just go with it. He purchased 3 more separate tickets. He went home that night. He tossed the mistaken ticket on his nightstand, the other 3 in the Christmas stockings. The day after Christmas, the winning tickets were announced, and Rob figured, okay, well, I'll just check this mistaken ticket. And it was then that he realized that the mistaken ticket was no mistake at all. He had just won $126 million, the largest jackpot in Kentucky at that time. He claimed his good, and his good was seeking him. Right? Now, I want you to notice something. When the clerk asked if he wanted him to nullify the ticket, Rob was not contracted. He was open. He wasn't angry. He wasn't frustrated at the clerk for misunderstanding him. And in that moment, he was a conscious receiver of allowing. Yeah, let's go with it, Rob said. Rob Anderson was open to keeping the mistaken lottery ticket, and he won. Contraction, my friends, closes down the landing pad of your higher good. Now, every once in a while, I'm asked, I'm not sure what openness and allowing and contraction feels like. Really, what is it? So just for a moment, if you will, do an experiment with me. I just want you to think of a time when you saw a sweet baby, just a smiling baby, and you were just allowing just love just to exchange back and forth between you. Maybe a time when you saw a baby at a grocery store line. That's happened to me a number of times. Or maybe your own baby or your grandchild, where both of you are just receiving this great, great love. Now, I want you to think of just a little puppy, sweetest little puppy in your hands. Just newborn. It's the cutest little thing, and your heart is open, and you feel between this puppy, there's this love exchange. You're just allowing, just open. Oh, this feels so good. Now, take a moment to see in your mind's eye a most beautiful, breathtaking view. Here in Santa Barbara, that happens all the time, right? It just opens you up, right? So you're kind of getting the feeling of being open, right? Now, take a moment about receiving an official letter from the IRS. You don't even know what it says. You probably are contracting right now. No longer is your heart wide open. No longer are you allowing good feelings in. Now, my friends, you know what openness and contracting feel like right now, right? You know the difference. Therefore, one of the spiritual tools in landing your plane of greater good in your life is allow. Be a conscious receiver. Now, there's something else I want you to remember. You are the air traffic controller. Our co-founder, Chuck Fillmore, said in his book, Jesus Christ Heals, which, by the way, is in our lending library in the bookstore, if you would ever like to read that book. It's a fantastic book, little deep. You got to read a little bit at a time and chew on it for a while, but it's a fabulous book, Jesus Christ Heals. And it says this: prayer is not supplication or begging, but a simple asking for which we know is waiting for us in the hands of our God and an affirmation of its existence. This is profound, meaning that what you are asking for, it already exists. It already exists. This is why Emma Curtis Hopkins said, what you are seeking is seeking you. When you ask, when you have a goal, a prayer, an intention, a wish, all you are doing is being the welcoming presence for that thing that already exists into your physical reality. Your plane of good already exists. So know with all your heart that your good, your wish, already exists. It's already in the vibrational ethers. And when you know that it already exists, you become a vibrational match that allows the universe to come through the path of least resistance. Remember, the job of the universe is to match your vibration. The universe brings your vibration with just the right people at the right time, and it may even orchestrate a delay in traffic. Since you are a good receiver, you don't get mad, you don't get frustrated, you don't contract about being in traffic, you just go with the flow, which is exactly what happened to Mary and Charles when they were looking for a new home in Long Island. True story. They had looked at many different places that weren't really to their liking. They had eclectic taste, if you will. And being the good Unity Truth students that they are, they prayed, and they could really feel that their home, the home of their dreams, that it already existed. All they had to do was allow and just have a matching frequency, and just know that wherever they were being led they would be led to the right place at the right time. Then one Sunday afternoon after church, they took the back road. They don't know why. They just decided, let's take the back road. When they got stuck in traffic because there were some workers that were working on a power line. And so there they were, stuck in traffic next to an old barn that was being renovated. And they were pointing and looking, wow, isn't that nice? And this guy in a hard hat comes over to them, knocks on the window, and out of the blue, they roll down the window, of course. You know what this means, right? They roll down the window, and he asks, are you looking to buy a home? And Mary and Charles were like, well, yeah, as a matter of fact, we are. Well, the guy in the hard hat just happened to be the owner. And so they took a look at this old barn, and it was exactly what they were looking for. The barn had been turned into a loft-like home. It had all these historical features that was perfect for their eclectic taste. They agreed to buy the house, and now they live happily in their new home. How did they just happen to be in the right place at the right time? Here's what they did. They had an intention. They knew that their home already existed. They could feel themselves within their new home without even knowing what it was going to even look like. They became a vibrational match. The universe orchestrated a traffic jam so that they could stop long enough to see it. The universe also nudged the owner to ask them if they were looking to buy a home, and they all moved forward in a space of allowing and receiving, and the universe moved them to the right place at the right time. You being the control tower means that when you send your prayer or intention, know that it already exists. You are allowing the universe to orchestrate all the events. And here is another unity reminder. You don't even have to know the how. Right? That's how we get bunched up a lot of the times. There is no control on your part. Things happen effortlessly. Just follow the lead. As May McCarthy said last week, follow your leads. You don't have to quickly sift through, how is this going to happen to me, and try to sift through all the things, how is this going to happen? I like to think of it in this way. And I've used this example before, when I order from Amazon, I place my order, I have faith that it will be delivered, and it shows up at my doorstep. Lately, they've been a little late. Just saying. I don't know, have you noticed that? Yeah, what's up? In fact, as I'm ordering, I'm already saying that I have possession of it. I don't need to know the how. No questions asked. I don't have any second thoughts about how it will get to my home. I don't have to give the driver any directions. I don't have to dictate how it's going to be packaged, even though I could do that. But they give me a little bottle in a big box. But I'm not going to complain. I double check. I don't need to double check whether they make sure that they've got the address to my home. I just put in my order. I believe without worry. I'm in a place of great allowing. And so I know it's coming, and I receive gracefully and gratefully. But here's how we get all bunched up, trying to figure out all the hows. My friends, the universe has infinite, how many? Say that a little more enthusiastically. Oh, I love you guys. Thank you. It has infinite ways and means of bringing your desire to you. And this is how we get caught up in the anxious hows. And your plane of good can't land. Hows create anxiety. Hows create contraction. We say, I don't see how this is going to come to me. Having to do everything yourself is resistance. It's resistance. It cannot be a vibrational match. You don't have to control the whole process. You don't have to know the hows because you don't have the resources. You don't have the knowledge or the tools that the universe has. You don't have the future, bigger picture. Why would you try to do what the universe does best? Just let go and allow the next steps to just unfold. Rather, take into consideration the words of Ephesians 3:20, where it says, with God's power working in us, God can do much, much more than anything we can ask or imagine. Great wisdom there. So in closing, I'm going to ask you to just close your eyes for a moment and allow, because I now baptize you this coming year of 2024 as the year for your more and more greater good. 2024 is the year of more. Your greater good has your name on it, and it is ready to land in your life. I am baptizing 2024 as the year of more and more good. You are signaling all planes for more of your greater good, that it is A-OK to land right now. You have cleared all the channels for safe and successful delivery of all your greater good, and all that good has your name on it. You are now filled with a sense of zeal, enthusiasm, and expectancy as you move quickly with ease and under grace to gate number 1, to receive your plane of good. There is good for you, my friends, and you ought to have it. Yes, I baptize you this year coming in 2024 as the year of more and more greater good. Can I get an amen? Amen. And so it is.